Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Cinco Squad. Uh, Fortunately,
Dos
down
Squados,
Dos
Los
Squados.
Dosos in the house tonight, everybody.
Yes.
Just me and Mr. Mike DeSano. Good to be with anybody tuning in. Apologies for being a little bit late by seeing if the other squad members could make it, but we think they have some stuff that came up. So you will have to be entertained by yours truly and this guy right here to never get the finger right. Still not getting
By the
it
way,
right. Other way, I can't do it.
how you doing today, Jay?
I'm all right, man. Been a week so far. We have a little trunk or treat tomorrow with the kids.
Oh,
Officially
awesome.
Halloween weekend here, so a lot of the kids are looking forward to us giving them absolutely no work over the weekend. Boy, are they in for it on Saturday morning. So they're definitely thinking about giving them Monday off because apparently today we're informed that we won't get the good candy if you make us come to practice and leave late. So gosh forbid
Mm.
that we have them miss out on the good candy. Any good coach would probably ensure that their kids miss out on the good candy. Well, we might go ahead and give them the afternoon off and have them come in the morning. So we'll see.
Okay, that seems like a fair trade.
How's your day?
It's all right. It's all right. Work was work. A lot of phone calls that didn't really go anywhere. But I'm happy to be here. Happy to have another Thursday night with the
Yeah,
squad, with the people,
yes, sir.
and it's gonna be a good show.
It is, and it's a good show in Tampa so far. Tampa has the ball here. Second quarter just started about 2 minutes ago. 10-3 lead. We haven't seen that much this year where Tampa has a first half lead. So hopefully this carries over because we know the Ravens have been a perennial horrible fourth quarter team. So let's go Bucks.
I don't know who to root for because there's the rival Tom Brady, and then there's the Ravens who beat us in the 2000 Super Bowl. So
Yeah,
you know what? Go football.
go
Hope
football.
it's a good game. But before we get into our sports talk, I need to know what you sipping on.
Well, what I was sapping on because I was sitting there waiting for us to start was my favorite thing of all time, my sparkling grapefruit drink. It tasted so good, I just couldn't save it for the start of the show here tonight, but it was
Hey,
delicious.
good
What is
drink's a
on your
good drink.
delicious menu, my friend?
Oh, I had a wonderful concoction that I came up with last week and was able to
Oh,
manufacture this week.
this is a blend.
It is blend.
Oh,
This is essentially rum and coke.
oh, it is.
It is with Captain Morgan's, of course.
Nice.
But I decided to have it with a Pepsi Soda Shop cream soda Pepsi.
A creamsicle soda rum. And how does it
So it's a
taste?
rum and Pepsi.
A rum and
Oh,
Pepsi
it's
cream.
delicious. It
It
is.
It's a tall glass too, bro. I dare you to finish that halfway through the show. We'll have a merry second half of the show. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the second half too.
Yes.
When Mike chugs his pop and coke.
Woo! Jay, my buddy from back home in Elmira, New York, Andy Belknap, has joined the show. First time viewer. Glad to see you, Andy. And he says you're looking like a Wish.com version of Aaron Rodgers right now.
What up, Andy? Aaron Rodgers actually took the look from me. I've been growing my hair out and I've had the beard for a long time.
True.
I think he saw my tapes and he's like, this kid from Florida, I think I could pull that look off. I'm going to just do it. So Aaron Rodgers should be thanking me. But good looks, Andy. Thanks for joining in with us this week.
And Jay, honestly, I think you could probably handle the Green Bay Packers at quarterback better than Aaron Rodgers is
Right now, it seems so. The guy's about to walk into Buffalo with a thumb injury and first time in his career, double-digit underdog. A lot of people are thinking it might be a triple-digit disaster for Green Bay this weekend. We'll see.
We shall see. We shall
But
see.
in the meantime, what I will do is I will meditate for my doppelganger, Mr. Rogers, and hope that it's not one of his worst days as a professional quarterback. Yeah, Andy, what's up, man? Big up. West Palm, East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, baby.
And I'm in New York still. Yes, Andy, I know I need to move. So before we get in, let's do a quick Cinco Squad Fantasy Football League update.
Number one.
This week I dropped to 4-3 as I lost to our own John Sawyer, who moves to 2-5.
Yeah, that was a season-saving win for him.
6 beers deep, Pat Hughes takes down Tyler Malfa. Jay slays the dragon of Mr. Cinco, Trey Booker.
Sir.
Going to 6-1, and yet somehow you said it still doesn't have you in the playoffs.
Still doesn't have me in the playoffs. It has me finishing 5th for some reason. I'm like, you know what? Doubt me all you want, IBM Watson.
That's where they think it's
Doubt me
gonna.
all you
Yeah, that's where things gonna end up. Hold on, I'm gonna save that for last.
want.
So Rick
Not nice.
decides that he's going to grab his third win, moving to 3-4 against OP, the Motor City Roar. They dropped to 2-5, but the most surprising result is Mr. Senior Sawyer, Patrick Sawyer, John's beloved father,
Yeah.
took a loss this week to Fonz, who gets his first ever win in the Cinco Squad League.
The Fonz on the board. You know, they still have a guy in my other big league who's now 0-7, and poor guy cannot get, and we're in a group chat, and it's constant for him. And we're all kind of hoping for him this week because he's playing the guy who wasn't first that runs his mouth all the time and just yaps. So we're like, come on, bro, you got to get that W.
Well, hopefully he can. Although, man, there's just been some unlucky stuff this year.
Yeah, he's had a starter drop out every week. He shows every possible Swift, Amon St. Brown. I mean, just all their starting QBs, and they picked up another one and went out. He just had a pretty bad string of luck there for him.
Yeah, well, I can count myself amongst the many fantasy owners that had Breece Hall this week. That's fun.
Yeah. I regretted not picking him after watching him play this weekend, and then when I woke up today, I was like, I'm actually happy I did it.
Yeah, maybe a good choice. Maybe in hindsight, yeah.
Unfortunately for me, my team name same after him is the Cool to Chase. I might be out. My main man might be out for 4 to 6 weeks there, but he'll be back in time for a playoff push, even though Watson doesn't have me making it. So we'll just rest him for the playoffs.
Yes, just rest him for the playoffs because that's how it works. but switching a bit from football to what starts tomorrow at time of recording.
The big one, baby.
The big one. Yeah, woo. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's World Series starts tomorrow.
You know what? I was about to say, you guys were showing no interest in this. Nobody's talking about it in the group. You bitter, disgruntled Yankees fans can't even bring yourselves to say, after you guys praised baseball as the greatest time of the year ever. I love this time of year. Guys, the group chat went ghost after that sweep. I'm in there by myself with crickets like, should I continue to keep typing to myself here? Because I'm pretty sure I'm either going to get a clusters of F-offs or they're just going to ignore me.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good way to end the season.
Not fantastic.
Not at all. However, the team to beat you, I did have them in the World Series, so I do think I'm the only person that predicted at least one team in the World Series.
I think so, because, the rest of us had the Yankees, didn't we?
Yep, I had the Astros and the Braves.
Yeah. Well, so what's interesting about this MLB playoffs has been, from an Astros perspective, and I don't think a lot of people realize it, Jay, they haven't lost.
Nope. Are they the third team to ever do that, I think?
I think so.
Yeah.
3 straight wins against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
3 straight wins against Seattle. They ended up making the World Series. We're not going to talk about what happened in between the 3 straight wins to Seattle. No, 4-game sweep of the Yankees. Yes, it happened. It was. It was just so. It was so disappointing.
Up until Game 4, where your team was finally like, we can actually hit the ball, but it wasn't enough because the Astros somehow found a way. With Altuve going like 0 for 60, they still found a way to win games without their leadoff guy. I mean, this might be his worst playoff run, which leads one to say, are they that deep? Like, because another team has their leadoff guy stuff in the pits, and you figure like, okay, they don't have a guy on base. They're not getting that early guy on base, or he's at least not helping advance any of the late hitting batters in the order later on. And somehow they find a way. Is it their pitching? Is it their depth? Is it their will to win? I mean, this team looked like a team of destiny. That's why I chose them. And I hate choosing a team that continues to just have ongoing success. I like seeing different teams in there. No lie, I did like the Golden State Cleveland thing that went on for a while. It seemed like you want LeBron to play, Steph or KD, and that's the best possible.
Yeah, it was a show. It was a good show.
Yeah, it's a good show. This just seems like Dusty. What maybe he's supposed to win one with the Astros. And the last year was a bit of a fluke. The Braves just going a hot run. But you think the same thing's going to happen this year? Think they're going to
I
get
don't know, and that is the question of the day: is because they haven't lost, are the Phillies the team to finally beat the Astros?
You mean like win one game or win the series?
No, well. First of all, do you think? I guess we'll go two-parter. Do you think they're going to win one game?
They have two aces. Their aces can't both lose. One of them has
They'll
to.
grab one.
They'll grab one. Yeah.
All right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think, the Phillies are playing good enough. Their best ball right now, which is very important in the playoffs, especially the MLB playoffs. I think they'll get at least one. Now, do you think they are the team to take the Astros down?
They're built like the team to take the Astros down. They got bullpen depth. They have one of the most electrifying players in baseball who's underperformed since he arrived at Philly and finally gets to take that monkey off his back by getting to the World Series after what happened when he left the Nationals. They have two aces that seem opposite styles. One's more of a changeup guy, off-speed stuff. You have another guy who's just whizzing people. The team seems like a team of destiny in its own sense that for the first time ever, we have a Canadian manager managing a team in the World Series, even though he wasn't the guy who started the year with them. So Canada is celebrating something possibly for the first time. And I believe they have that same swagger that the Braves had, which is like nobody penned us to be here. So we're playing with house money.
Right. I totally agree. They do feel like the Braves last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just that they had all this talent and it just never seem to be working out. A guy would be hurt here, slump there, and then just all of a sudden they're like really good. And my reaction to them has been the exact one I had with the Braves last year, which was okay. Now they're done.
Yep.
Okay, now they're done.
Yeah. Okay. Now they can't.
Now they're done.
Yeah.
All right, they're not winning the World Series, or are they? I think they are. I think they're going to win.
Really?
Because they are playing their best ball.
It would have to go to 7, though, right?
I think it does go to 7. I think either way it goes to 7, just because even if the Phillies lose, they've proven to be such a scrappy team.
Yeah.
That will just. I mean, look how they played the Padres.
Yeah.
They just fought and clawed their way to every win. So yeah, I think they can do it.
And almost by far, hasn't it seemed like both of these stadiums, other than the one game in Seattle, obviously it was nuts.
Yeah.
But both of these stadiums, the fans seem to be like on another level almost. Like it's frenetic. Like the energy is just unbelievable at both of these stadiums right now.
They're feeling it.
Yeah.
They're feeling it. I think that's why I say that the MLB playoffs are the best.
Okay.
Just because even
NHL is raucous though. I mean, last year with the Rangers,
that's up there
Rangers
too.
Lightning series, that was pretty awesome.
I dream of a Rangers playoff game.
Yeah.
Just because it's just hockey's electric. Honestly, and as a side note, the NFL almost seems like the least raucous crowd
except let's wait to see if the Bills host an AFC championship game.
Oh my God.
Right? Like in the NBA, the only team right now where it's raucous is in Boston. I mean, those Boston fans, they're rowdy. They're cheering all game long. They're engaged. They're cussing out the bench, the opposing team. And that's the one team in basketball. You're like, same thing, right? Boston got to the finals. It was electric in Boston during the finals as well. So you have that one team in the NFL. It's definitely the Bills. Bills Mafia.
It's I'm being only an hour away from the city of Buffalo.
Yeah,
I'm afraid that if they win the Super Bowl, I might not survive the fire.
Yeah.
So, if I'm, if the Bills win the Super Bowl in February and you never see me on an episode of Cinco Squad again, you'll know why.
Well, here's the deal. That's what we have to do. If Philly and the Bills both host the championship games and they both go to the Super Bowl, we have to do an over-under on more tables broken in Buffalo or more cars flipped in Philadelphia.
Whew, that is a tough bet to face. But yeah, I was thinking like the NFL crowds seem to be less raucous than the other sports, but maybe that's only because they're the furthest away from the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
I
not
can
like an
definitely do it.
on top of you type
Yeah,
of.
but look at college stadiums though. I mean,
True.
it gets wild. And yeah, maybe more in the indoor ones. But in New Orleans at times when New Orleans was
Oh,
the
yeah.
stage with Drew Brees, it was raucous too. But going back to the baseball thing,
Yeah.
I really think that Philly might end up stealing game one. That's my bold prediction.
It's a surprise.
Yeah. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think they steal game one, and then all of a sudden you feel like all of a sudden the Astros, and then talk about, can the Astros bounce back? They haven't lost yet. Of course they could bounce back. They've been one of the best teams in baseball for the last 3 months. So they're not going to panic. They have their aces as well. Because Verlander's kind of struggled in his starts early on.
Yeah. That's the other thing that's kind of weird about this playoffs is like the Astros are doing this with their ace being potentially their worst starter.
Worst starter, yeah.
Now, mind you, I don't think it's going to stay that way necessarily. He's a big game pitcher.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see the Phillies hopping out to like a quick lead too. I think game one will be like that tomorrow, where it's like Schwarber or Harper hits a home run in the first inning.
Schwarber's a leadoff batter, right?
Yeah.
So then I think it really comes down to because he's kind of been in a slump himself. So who gets their team on base early so the cleanup guys can do their thing. And if it's Schwarber or Altuve and whatever team strikes first, I think both teams carry a lot of momentum into put it this way, their bullpen seems to obviously be up for the task if you give them a lead. Now, both teams seem to be scrappy as well because they scrap. Houston really does a scrappy game for a win.
Right.
We've seen Philly, like you said, probably 3 of their 4, maybe 3 or even 4 of their wins have been really scrappy wins for them. Especially the game where they came back to beat Atlanta and the one where they beat the Cardinals. I mean, it's almost like, is any lead safe with either of these teams? That's why I think this might be a really exciting World Series. Someone knows World Series where you can say, oh, this team's up 4-1. There's no way they can come back from this. The pitching's too good. No way. Both these teams are scrappy. It's going to be worth watching whether you're a fan or not. Friday night, World Series. I mean, pretty awesome weekend ahead.
Yeah. Let's go Phillies. Hey, Rob Thompson, former Yankees bench coach. So by proxy, if they win, we win.
Whatever. Get out of here. What about the former Yankees manager that got fired that he replaced? Any proxy for that?
Oh, also, David Robertson is the Phillies closer. So
yeah, okay, we'll give you that one.
And he's got one World Series, as I said last week in Stump the Squad.
Which you lost, by the way. Streak over, baby. It's over.
It is.
That it is.
All
right, so prediction on the series. You got 7 games and Philly winning.
Phillies in 7. I got Phillies in 7.
I got the Astros in 6.
Ooh.
Yeah. The run.
Very well.
The magic does come to an end.
Cinderella. Come on, Cinderella. Hang on till midnight.
We have to figure though, if you poll America, right? You think America would be 8-10 in favor of the Phillies because there's still a hatred for the Astros right now?
Yeah.
How about Mattress Dan, $2 million on a futures bet to win $75 million if the Astros win? How about that? And you know what's even crazier? He's walking around in the casino with $2 million when he bet this earlier this year. And people he just has it casually in his hand, and people are walking by, they're like, hey, Mattress Dan, can we get a picture with you? And he's holding $2 million in chips and posing for pictures. Hey, I got a casual, just $2 million.
That's chips, I was thinking about that when I heard about
Mattress
it.
Bob, is it? Let's say
Mattress Mac.
Mattress Mac, that's it. Yep.
Mattress Mac.
Yep.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, I wish I had $2 million of disposable income to just drop on the Astros or somebody to win
If he does win that 75, that makes up for every terrible bet for the last 20 years of his life, where he's probably lost 65. So finally, he's up 10 after 25 years of very risky bets. He's like, honey, I told you it was worth it. 20 years of stress later.
I was gonna say he's in his 70s.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for a long time.
A long time. He might be one of the more polarizing fans in sports, don't you think? In terms of the lure, right? Because you look at the guy damn, nobody takes bigger risks than this guy, right? He's a gambler. He's like the Don. Is he the Don of gambling? Can you say that?
Yes and no, I guess. Yeah. It would be the largest.
He's the Don of big bets.
Don of big bets. Yeah, it is. I did see earlier if he wins the 75, It'll be the largest payout
Mhm.
since gambling became legal. Since
Yep.
sports gambling became legal.
Oh yeah.
Largest single payout.
You have to imagine right now, whoever you put that bet in right now, those people are silently trying to send as many people to touch Houston Astros players in some way or whatever to try and distract them. I mean, they're probably making up news articles about their families. Like, we need to do anything to distract the players right now from Houston. Anything. Get all your guns out. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do? You got a pretty cousin? All right, you gotta send her over and make sure she's at the after party after game two, bro. Like they I mean, I can't imagine as a casino sitting there saying, we might have to pay $75 million out to this guy. But if he's being loyal to that person or to that casino in Vegas, let's say, where he puts on most of the big bets, like I said, they've already probably won about $30 million from him, or kept 30 million. So yeah, it's changes. Like, you give us 30, we give you back 45, but you're gonna come back in here and give us the 15 before you croak out probably.
Yeah.
The house always wins, but this time, boy, a $75 million hit to the house. Ooh.
Owner of that casino shaking in his
I'm
boots.
cheering for him. That's why I'm taking the Astros. Let's go. Pay the man.
Nah, I still want the Phillies to win. I don't like the
And
Astros.
if they win, who's the MVP? Bryce?
If the Phillies win, yeah, Bryce.
Okay.
It's Bryce or I could see it being like Zach Wheeler.
Interesting.
If he gives them like two, like, Cy Young level starts.
Yeah. I think the same thing on Philly's side is one of the starters is going to have to win 2 games and be an absolute just shutdown, pitcher for both games, and he might end up winning.
Yeah. On the Astros side, if they win, under like dark horse pick for their MVP might be Jeremy Pena.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been playing like Correa.
Okay.
So I could see, especially if Altuve's slumping.
Yeah.
Altuve, no Springer, no
the big
Brantley.
man's gonna come alive because he likes the light too. He likes the big stage.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. Let's see what happens. But from the end of a season to the beginning of a season, we just had a season start
of the NBA.
The NBA. Admittedly, my least watched or paid attention to of the 4 major American sports. So I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one as far as information. What are you seeing from the NBA about a week in now?
So they say the NBA doesn't really start till December, right? That's when you see teams really start to show whether or not they're a true contender. But the chemistry Golden State is already showing with Wiseman on the floor, and he's coming in as a more athletic big man. I mean, he's dunking stuff back like how Shaq just used to clean up stuff around the rim. And if Golden State has not just a rim protector, but somebody to clean up around the rim, which they haven't really had on any of their championship teams, it adds a whole new element to this team where all of a sudden you're saying that they're going to fire away threes, but any one of those threes that are fired away can turn into an easy 2, just like that, because Wiseman can clean up 6, 7, 8 offensive rebounds that you were dependent on Draymond for. So now you've got 2 guys that have that mentality of crashing the boards and giving Golden State a second chance. That's a team you don't want to give a second chance and kick the ball back out to. So when they gel, because remember, this is Wiseman's first time playing for them in over a year, they still need to gel with him on the floor. And Wiggins looks unstoppable at times already. So Golden State still looks like the team to beat. Surprising teams who and unfortunately Dame's already injured. The Blazers look like they're playing with really good team chemistry. Utah, who should be tanking, is actually playing very decent basketball. Nuggets, very concerning that the Nuggets are not playing or defending well enough in my eyes. But the Suns, I think, are the ones that have the chip on their shoulder where, like, we got embarrassed on our home floor last year by Dallas, like absolutely embarrassed. And everybody wrote them off. You're not going to re-sign Ayton. Your championship run is over. They matched the offer. They signed Ayton. They look great. They put it to the Warriors. In fact, Clay and my boy Book were going at it and just chirping it away at each other. And Clay got thrown out of the game for saying something. Book didn't. So, Phoenix got the best of Golden State at the beginning of the season, but we saw that last year too. Remember I was telling you guys, look out for Phoenix. Phoenix are the best team in basketball for like the first 60 games of the season. They look like the best team in basketball, and it doesn't really translate into the playoffs for them yet. But the West is you could say it's a bit wide open. It'll be super competitive because Dallas still looks good enough to compete in the playoffs, and New Orleans, look out. If Zion can stay healthy, look out. I think people forget that McCollum was an all-star before he came over to New Orleans. and with Zion playing at an all-star level, and you have Ingram playing at an all-star level too, that's a team that nobody's thinking they got three. They might not be voted as all-stars, but they have three all-star caliber players on their roster with some young kids who have a lot of swag and who definitely feel like, I dare you to doubt us. And then there's the young Timberwolves. I mean, the West is exciting, right? On the East, yes, huge addition for Cleveland getting done. So Donovan Mitchell changes the whole dynamics of that team. But it really looks like a two-man race right now. The 76ers don't look like they're just not playing good on both sides of the ball. I don't know if that comes together for them. Same thing with the Nets. The Nets is like, we need to outscore teams to beat them. But the Celtics and the Bucks and Giannis is like, you know what? You guys are treating me like LeBron. I know I'm the MVP, but for some reason you feel like you need to share the award. So share it with whoever you want. The guy had a monster game against Brooklyn. I think it was like 41 and 18 or something. Couple like 6 blocks. I mean, just a monster game. And I think that was a statement because everybody's like, Brooklyn's still the darling team, you know, the KD thing. And when Ben Simmons works out, and Giannis standing there, he's like, bro, we're the team to beat. Like, stop saying Brooklyn is the team to beat. If I'm playing at a high level, the Bucks are the team to beat. And then there's the Celtics sitting there like, yeah, but by the way, we're the defending champs in the East. So basketball is fun. You know, we're talking about parity and our predictions. And like I said, the West is the Wild Wild West again. And in the East, it just looks like it may end up being a Boston-Milwaukee thing, barring no injuries. But because Donovan's in there with Cleveland, you never know with their young talent. Because the 76ers have, you know, this might be their last chance with Harden. He's in better game shape. And then the Miami Heat always seem to, like, you know, surprise teams in the playoffs. You know, I'm naming like 5-6 teams in both. I don't think we've ever been able to say like there's 5 or 6 teams that can possibly contend in each conference to make the championship. And that's why this year is going to be fun for a lot more cities. Like I think I think last year they were like, when Golden State gets healthy, they'll win the West, and they were right. And then in the East, it's like, oh, it's all Philly. But as soon as Boston went on their run after, you know, and people saw how good they were, it's like, it's all, well, Boston's been playing the best basketball, so it's Boston. And they were right? The predictor was there. I don't think we could do that this year. I think the NBA really becomes a toss-up. More cities are invested. I mean, the Knicks are even playing up-tempo basketball with Tom Thibodeau. Like, who could have thought that? And they look good, but they always look good for like 2 weeks. And then they turn into the Knicks. So we'll see what happens there. But it's fun. The NBA is going to be fun this year. I think Banchero by far is rookie of the year already. The kid's a monster. Oh, he's a monster.
So glad I drafted him in fantasy.
Monster. Well done. He is a monster.
Yeah.
And the way they're playing, they're not winning games. They might get another number 1 pick. Next thing you know, they bring in Shibwe, right, from Kentucky. And now you have solid big man, solid athletic forward. You have, if they decide to keep Bobo, and you know, there's a solid big 3 right there. They have what's his name they drafted from UNC, your boy,
Cole Anthony.
Yeah, Cole Anthony. So nice, you know, nice little young core that's happening in Orlando. And hey, next thing you know, they're a good team. I'm gonna be going to Orlando more often and look at some NBA games.
Do I hear another Magic Kingdom? Do I hear another Magic Kingdom coming?
Yeah, somebody wear the number 1, and then you got me all excited.
Yeah.
No,
right. They still got Mo Bamba too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Mo Bamba is what I meant. Yeah, no Bobo. So, do you know a story about? It's not a story. Tracy McGrady gave an interview the other day, and you know he said that Penny Hardaway was his Michael Jordan. He's like, nobody could talk bad about Penny. Nobody could say anything bad about him. He said the guy, to him, he had everything. He had the swag. He had every move. It's just early on in his career, he was unstoppable. You have to remember the Magic were the only team to beat the Bulls in an Eastern Conference. Only team to beat the Bulls when Michael Jordan was there in the 90s in a playoff series with Penny Hardaway and Shaq. The only team. So they did something that no other team in the East was able to do. And he was special. And Tracy said that. And he was like, so when I got the chance to wear number 1, you better believe that every night it was much more than me. It was like, I have to make sure that this jersey is like, I'm playing with the respect I owe for Penny Hardaway, and I'm going to play my heart out. And he did, man. McGrady was fun, and like, he was so much fun to watch in Orlando. Unfortunately, he can't count to 4 because he thought they had beat Detroit when they were up 3-1 in the playoffs, and Detroit came back to beat them that year and go on to make a deep playoff run. But we'll leave poor Tracy alone on that one. That's what happens when you skip college out of high school and you probably don't even attend high school classes for the last 2 years.
Hey, ball is life, man. Ball
is life, baby.
Ball is life. But so I trust your insight on this. To two things that amongst what you said and looking at like the standings and stuff and where the NBA sits right now stood out to me, which was I wouldn't necessarily count out Charlotte either because they're still missing LaMelo. And he's such a dynamic player and such a catalyst for everything they do. I'll be interested to see how well they do this year because I think they improve themselves.
They're fun. Yep.
Yeah. With the Milwaukee thing, I noticed a particular, because I do like looking at stats, a particular stat. They are the only team right now. I know it's only through a few games.
Yep.
They're the only team in the East right now, and possibly the NBA. Let me double check that. Yes, the only team in the NBA that is averaging below 100 points a game.
Yeah.
Do you see that as a concern moving forward, or do you think it's just kind of early season fully figuring out offense?
Yeah, I still think Middleton is recovering, and he still needs to find his legs. Once he gets going, that's their ace in the hole. That's going to hit a lot of big shots for them and open up the floor. But what does that say about them as a defense? I mean, in this new NBA, for them to be unbeaten and scoring, I did see that, which was really odd. And for them to be under 100 points a game says maybe they're moving away. And I did read an article about this, that maybe the whole 3-point attempt thing has plateaued. Like maybe it's finally hit that plateau where like it's not a competitive advantage anymore this year. If you put up 43s and another team that puts up 25, but they're shooting 68% from inside the paint, is going to beat you, or is going to get beat because of analytics. Like maybe we finally see the plateau where teams have to go back to more fundamental basketball, and the Bucks might be probably, excuse me, did I say
shut your mouth?
Fundamental. I'm sorry. The Bucks might be the most fundamental team in the NBA because of their chemistry, because of their basketball IQ, and because of the way they're coached. They're coached by somebody who is from the Greg Popovich tree, right? So it's strange, but maybe we're seeing a change of the guard here, and that's going to be very interesting if that transition turns into other teams realizing. I mean, look, who was it that played the other night? I mean, the Lakers. My goodness, the Lakers. I've watched them play twice now. I don't know why I finished watching the first game. I went to bed last night, even though the score was tied with Denver at halftime. I'm like, Denver's playing horrible, and somehow they still scored 62 points. How? How? So Denver pulls away and beats them. And then Stephen A., I listened to about 5 minutes today of him, which is the most I can take on most days now. that they may start 0-11 this year based on their schedule. And he's like, he'd be shocked if their record's better than 1-10 after their first 11 games. So now they're calling to clean house, trade Westbrook, get rid of AD, but AD has no more value. Poor Anthony Davis looks like Dirk Nowitzki in his final year already. Every 5 minutes, he's hunched over, grabbing his knees because the lower back thing is a big deal. He needs to see a chiropractor and do some acupuncture to take care of his. I think it's something more internally with him. But with big men, we do see that a lot, and it's been an issue with him since he started having hip and knee issues. And he was even saying like, hey, maybe you trade LeBron and just clean house and start all over, because Jeannie Buss is looking to sell the team. And if you're looking to sell the team, you want to give the new owner an opportunity to have things to build around. So if you can trade all these players and get a crap load of picks that they gave away, and you get those picks back within the next 3 or 4 years, and you just go through a little bit of a slump, but you can strike gold like what Golden State did, because they're the Lakers. They're going to get an all-star to come over there. You know, somebody's going to want to go play, whether it might be DeRozan or like, hey, it's your team now. Are you willing to come here and make this your team? Because that's where they missed the ball. Can you imagine that team with DeRozan last year instead of with Westbrook? I mean, not to say that they would have been great, but he played out of his
better.
team. And I would have loved to have seen what him and LeBron could have done together.
Oh, I know.
It'll never happen. And I'm sure LeBron's shaking his head like, I think I messed up. Not I think, I know I messed up.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You look at the Lakers, like you're like, oh, you have an opportunity to go to the LA Lakers. Like on paper, that's a great pick because it's the Lakers.
Yeah.
There's so much history of winning there and great players playing there. Plus, it's in Hollywood where he wants to continue his second career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Lakers may end up being the worst team in basketball this year.
Well, only Orlando might match how bad they could be this year.
I don't even know, because if Paolo can will them to some wins.
I don't know, because he's been scoring a ton of points and he doesn't have the
losing,
support outside. But yeah, it's sad for us to be discussing a young Orlando Magic team with the
in the
very
same
old
breath.
and total opposite Los Angeles Lakers. And here's Danny Ainge sitting in Utah right now saying, well, that plan I had for Boston is making us look like the best franchise, aren't we?
Well, look how the crumble cookies. I was thinking about it. Honestly, I think what AD might need the most for his career, especially longevity of his career, go to Houston or Orlando and just sit a year.
True.
Get your, like you said, go see a doctor, go see the chiropractor,
Yeah.
get yourself right. Take a year to rest everything up while
Get a Chinese herbal doctor. Go see a shaman. Go ask Aaron Rodgers where he.
You were in New Orleans. You probably know a voodoo doctor.
Exactly. Come on, bro. You gotta know a voodoo doctor from somewhere out there in Nala.
So yeah, I think that's what he needs. He just needs a year.
Yeah.
He needs a year with no expectations
Yeah.
and no workload set upon him. And what better to go to two teams that are building and could really use Anthony Davis moving forward, especially Houston. Houston's got enough draft picks and prospects that they can give the Lakers a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And still build around, not a build. I think the days of building around Anthony Davis are past us.
Yeah.
But I don't think if he gets himself right physically, I don't think the days that Anthony Davis can't be a big contributor on a contender are over.
Yep. I no doubt. I mean, his offensive game has kept improving. It's where he's no longer a threat is on the defensive end. As once when he was that rim protector, where
he just can't keep up.
Yeah, he just can't
physically, he just can't keep up.
Can't move the way he used to move. So that's the interesting one. I don't think we need to waste time talking about Westbrook because I can't think of a team that wants to land Westbrook right now.
No, not with that deal.
Right. So I'm gonna give you the options here. So you decide to trade LeBron, and obviously you want to trade him out the West. But if one team in the West could really use LeBron, in the East is Cleveland, right? We all know it's Cleveland.
Right. I think if he's going
to Cleveland or he goes back to Miami, I don't think there's any other choice.
No,
right?
He'll
It's Cleveland or Miami. So if it was a West team, which team would LeBron best fit into right now? Golden State can't count. He shouldn't go to Golden State.
No, he should not.
Right?
That's
so
just
other than Golden State, what team should LeBron go to, and it would be instant championship? You think?
Phoenix.
Dallas.
Yeah, that'd be a good team. Him and Luka.
Him and Luka would be deadly. And here's the cool thing: because of Luka, LeBron can sit out, certain periods of the game and not worry about the team being in a negative margin because Luka is going to keep them in the game. So imagine him having fresh legs at the right moment and being managed properly at his age and being able to contribute like a true beast at the right moments. And it would be pretty cool. Boy, Cuban would be running his mouth non-stop about landing LeBron James.
Yes. I suppose that's why I thought Phoenix, because Chris Paul takes away the need for LeBron to be the primary ball handler.
Yep.
And Booker definitely takes away the need for him to be the primary scorer.
Yeah. And they do have some attractive pieces to throw over to the Lakers' way. So.
Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson would be a big
100%
part of that team.
Cam. Yep.
Yeah.
And they might even throw Ayton out there because if they're going to get rid of 80, they're like, here's your big man. Here's another guy. Yeah.
Okay, Cam Johnson. I miss him. I miss Cam Johnson. We have his brother now, Puff.
Yeah. What a name.
It's close. Weird. It's close.
Name. Puff.
What, Puff Johnson? Puff.
Poof. Why do you call him Poof?
Poof. Because he pops into the corner for a three, like poof. Yeah, I just like and if you don't have to give up Ayton in that deal, there goes LeBron having to be the primary like big man defender.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yep. But CP3 is probably behind the scenes like telling Genie come on, if I'm going to win a ring and LeBron could win one too, and the entire NBA probably wants this, or every LeBron fan wants him, to go out on top. I mean, Chris Paul altered the NBA as the president of.
Yes, absolutely. Jay.
Association for a while. What's that?
Apparently the Lakers are Beetlejuice. I think we've talked about them a little too much because we have a guest.
Oh, we have a guest, do we? Oh,
I happen to
snap.
handle
Mr. Cinco
triggered
making
off.
an appearance because we have put in his team in the mud. Talk to me, Mr. Cinco.
No,
What
I
you
could
got?
put those guys into the mud, but to chime in, the Nuggets is where I would send LeBron to if I was going with him.
Oh God, that's not
The
fair.
Nuggets?
Yes,
Yeah,
you basically sub him out for Porter. The Lakers get youth, which is
True.
what they don't have.
yeah,
You plug him in as a small forward. He's willing to play on or off the ball. You put him with Jokic. Murray is similar to a Kyrie where he can control the ball but play off.
yeah.
So that would be the one.
Oh God,
That would be
Jokic
the one.
and LeBron.
That would be the one.
Yeah, that would be the one.
That's
Yep.
mean. That's mean. What do you think about
You think the market? You think Denver's big enough for LeBron though?
The mark, I guess Cleveland isn't, but it's home.
That's why I said Dallas. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of like a really big market. You know, a state that's one of the
Phoenix,
biggest
Arizona?
states.
I mean, the interesting part always with that is he says supposedly, he wants to play with Bronny. Let's say Bronny goes to a super small market. Then what? Like, what happens if Bronny goes to the Jazz? I don't,
Oh God!
But the interesting thing is, if he ends up in Charlotte and him and Jordan have no relationship, and Jordan's like, I don't want him.
Right. Okay, that's another.
That's true. I think the one thing that nobody ever thinks about that puts a wrench into LeBron's plans is what if they don't want to sign you?
Yeah.
But
But
if they just want to
disrespect him that much, I don't know if you could ever disrespect LeBron when he's like, if LeBron, imagine that. Imagine being an owner and that meeting is happening because your staff's decided, we are going to draft Bronny. So the next phone call once you decide that is, we got to talk to LeBron and his agents. And once you make that call, it's kind of like, so what are you offering us? And they're like, well, in fact, I'm not sure we have an offer for you. He's calling Bronny and say, hey, you're going to do an Eli Manning and demand a trade, all right?
Oh, yeah. Go play in New Zealand for a year.
It's an iffy thing because, it's kind of funny, and we'll see this. I'm surprised it's come more often. People were so mad at LeVar Ball. LeBron is doing a LeVar Ball in the way. He's saying, if my kid doesn't get this, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
He's doing that, except with way more power than LeVar ever had.
Yep.
Right, because he is the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that why? I think that's why he's sticking around LA so long.
Oh yeah.
And not even though he knows they suck.
For sure.
Just because he wants to eventually go. All right, we're trading up for Bronny.
And his brand as well, right? I mean, like
brand
outside of basketball, he's in that billionaire stratosphere already. So Trey, here's my question for you: do the Lakers win a game before Thanksgiving or what?
I got to pull the schedule up.
Bro, you didn't actually think about that because we're like a month removed from Thanksgiving. That's crazy.
I mean, that's what 6-7 games. I could see them lose 6 more in a row if it's the wrong set. It's like 6 games.
But Thanksgiving, they'll play like at least 12 more games and into Thanksgiving. They should be about 15.
They have
by then
2 chances.
2 chances.
2
chances. Schedule?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have as follows: Minnesota
loss
at Minnesota, host Denver,
loss,
host New Orleans,
loss,
host Utah.
Actually,
win. They'll beat Utah. They could beat Utah.
The only reason New Orleans maybe Ingram's in concussion protocol.
Okay.
And Zion fell on his ass hard the other week, and that's only now if they're healthy, no.
And Ingram's still out, so the two of them
only bit by injury, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Cleveland?
No.
At Utah?
Probably not. They don't play well at Utah.
The rest definitely don't.
At the Clippers, so.
Nope, not the Clippers.
Clippers should, as long as Kawhi's playing.
Here's the first one that came up that I thought they might be able to win. Hosting Sacramento.
They better win that game. So that would make them 2-10, right?
Yeah, that's like 2-10 start.
Yeah.
Hosting Brooklyn.
Probably not.
Hosting Detroit.
I would lean Brooklyn, but it's like a talk. Like I don't know. Kyrie.
They're both not good.
Kyrie might decide he wants to go be a missionary by then.
Yeah, but my concern is for Kyrie. My concern is that is Ben Simmons going to get out of his own head, or is he going to just fold and just become a nobody by the All-Star break? And now Brooklyn's thinking about how to replace Ben Simmons as opposed to how to include him in the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's an iffy one because Brooklyn's a little everywhere. So And it's in LA, so I tossed it up because Kyrie's liable to just go hang out in LA and say, you know what, I'm going to rest the puppies tomorrow.
Well, there's that.
I don't know. Like it's.
My other thought was that maybe they're close enough to Utah that maybe Kyrie just goes away and goes and becomes a Mormon, like a Mormon missionary. I don't think this basketball thing's for me.
But funny enough, as egocentric as he is, he's actually been a pretty good teammate to Ben so far. In a lot of his post-game interviews, he's told people to back off the kid. Like, we're supporting him. We're riding his ass, he said. Rightfully so as his teammates. We're trying to talk as much positive energy and affirmations into him. He hasn't played basketball in 2 years. The only athlete, because he was a GOAT before he left the game, who almost took 2 years off and came back and dominated, was Michael Jordan. I can't think of any other athlete who came back and played at almost the same or a higher level after leaving the game for such a long period of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's extreme. It's Jordan.
Yeah. But as their teammate, as his teammate, that's great. I love hearing about good teammates.
Yeah.
Part of the positive affirmation should probably be teaching him to shoot.
Did you send that meme in the group?
I was the one that sent that. Yes,
the netball hoops and no basketball.
That's why we have some of the best shooters in the world. Ben Simmons.
That was a good one. Yeah.
I don't understand in today. Like we were talking earlier about how Jay was saying, is the NBA hitting that plateau for shooting, and is it becoming a more fundamental game again? Which is great for Ben, but I still don't think that takes away from the fact that you have to be able to have at least somewhat of a jump shot.
Yeah.
To really be successful.
I mean, part of the issue with him is not just having a jump shot. He's not even willing to think about taking it.
I
at least
consider shooting.
Might take it. Yeah. I'm not even concerned if you're going to take and miss. I just know you're going to pass.
Yeah. When the whole defense backs up 6 feet when you pull up from 3, that's a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a problem. When you're technically a point guard. He's a power forward, but he's a point guard.
He's a point guard.
Yeah. Point forward.
Yeah. So,
and it's concerning that it's on both sides of the ball. You'd figure like if his confidence is going to grow again, it's because he's the lockdown defender and he's fouled out, I think, in like half of their games so far this year. So
yeah. Well, you would think that's the baseline for anybody that's been slumping. I mean, we look at Markelle Fultz. All right, just focus on the little fundamental parts of your game. Play tough defense.
He just couldn't stay healthy, poor kid. Talk about being cursed by the injury bug. I feel bad for that kid.
Well, that and all the weight on him in Philly. Mm-hmm. Just like, oh, by the way, just want to let you know now that we've picked you first overall, and we don't know how good Embiid's going to be when he gets back from his 2-year foot injury.
Yeah,
you have to be
the guy. Carry us.
Yeah.
Well, and then don't forget also Jason Tatum. These people are in that draft too, which makes it even more of a burden because now it's
right. So he's got all the pressure of trying to save the 76ers basketball at the time.
Yeah.
Plus, he's automatically told you were a bust of a first pick. They should have picked Tatum. So you're hearing it from both sides. Like
we got a burner in Brooklyn tonight. Right now it's 107-106 Brooklyn at the line. Carry shooting 2 free throws. So heck of a game, man. Brooklyn coming back to take the lead in the 4th. And let's take a look. Oh, Luka, 33, 8, and 10 so far tonight. Let's take a look at the stat line to see what good old Ben Simmons is doing here tonight. So, Mr. Ben, 7 points.
How many attempts? That's what I was going
to say. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Okay.
2 steals.
Okay, not bad.
Only 1 turnover.
Good.
3 for 7.
Okay.
And he hit his only free throw.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right, Ben. Isn't it sad that we're saying that we're praising
progress?
A former All-Star for having 7 points and 2 rebounds in that whole game.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible.
I was happy to say 6, 7 attempts. I didn't even care if you made them or not. I was happy
just making shots, taking shots and stuff. Yeah.
Let's flip flop something since we have Mr. Singer. I was saying that it seems like Giannis is making a bold statement here. Like, thank you for giving other people my MVP, but I want that back this year based on how he started the season.
Yeah.
You think the best player in the league right now is Giannis or Jason Tatum?
Giannis.
No debate.
Yeah.
No debate.
But
it's not even the same Tatum. I like Tatum, but I would say Giannis.
But Tatum, I don't think either of them wins MVP.
I think Tatum could be in the running for MVP, but Giannis.
I think they'll both be in the running. I don't think either of them
win.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them win. I have my MVP.
Who? Luka?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
given the stat line that was just read.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I think Mark Andrews just went to the locker room hurt again. I'm just going to catch up on that game.
Yeah.
They're showing at halftime. They were showing him with his pads off.
Oh, that's not good.
Whose pads are off?
Mark Andrews.
Oh, yeah,
Andrews,
that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
But no, it's not even Shane Tatum. I think Tatum will be at a point the best player in the league. I just think right now Giannis is in his exact peak. And as good as Tatum is, and I look at the defensive factor too, he's good on defense. Giannis is a different animal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even once you factor that in. So I would say that. And I seen Giannis close it out. I seen Tatum disappear, but Giannis used to disappear in the playoffs. So I'm going to go Giannis right now.
But the positive thing about Tatum is he may not be the best player in the league right now, but let's all not forget he's 24. So
that's the scary part.
Like,
that's the scary part. Yep.
He's going to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if he's the best player in the league in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
We can just say that.
But you got another kid over there in Memphis that's like, hey, don't forget about me. Like, he has this drive where he wants to be the best. Like, Ja Morant reminds you so much of Allen Iverson. I keep saying that. Like, it's not that they have it's not the short man syndrome. It's more like I can ball on any given night with anybody and you can't stop me. Like, I dare you to try to stop me. And his teammates now are playing even better than they were last year. The supporting cast got better. They definitely worked out together over the summer because they look like a well-oiled machine already. Dangerous.
And that's why in fantasy I picked Dylan Brooks. I was like, okay, Ja is the type of player that's gonna, like AI, gonna make everybody around him better.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I have Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane.
Nice.
I was like, okay, like. At least one of these guys is probably going to hit as a good option this year. So,
Trey, who do you have? Who are your major ballers on your team?
Oh, I got Luka. So I say MVP. I went
Luka.
Luka.
You go first? Were you first pick?
I was second pick. Giannis went first. I went Luka.
Giannis, Luka.
Yeah. But
I think Tatum went third.
Yeah. I thought Tatum on Jokic, maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember Jokic or Tatum. They were all jumping around there.
LeBron went like 7th or 8th.
Where did Embiid go? Must be like 5th, I would imagine, right?
No, I don't think he made it in the first round.
Really? Somebody just offered me Embiid in the trade, actually.
What? Take it.
Because that trade also had Russell Westbrook attached to that. I knew he was trying to. He was trying to win Russell. Yeah, he was trying to win Westbrook, so he tried to ask for that. And I think he wanted to get back Christian Wood. I think he wanted to get back. It was a couple other things. I was like,
not for Westbrook. Not for Westbrook.
I'm gonna need. It's like how everybody says I need 2 first rounds. Say Westbrook, same thing. I'm gonna need more.
Yeah.
Because I counted him with something crazy.
Since we have you here, and we're going to talk about a good time for us to jump into that last topic about trade deadline in the NFL and moves teams have made. Are you willing to put out a bold prediction that your Steelers might be the first team to beat the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, because I'm not that confident.
Come on, do it, bro.
I'm keeping real. I think the Steelers right now are playing bottom 5 football in the league. That's just facts.
Along with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I'm shocked they're actually winning this game right now. So
let's go,
You're
Giants.
right, and that's one of the only teams we beat. So that says a lot. Like, no, I keep it real. I'm not. This is a bridge year. That's just what it is.
So is it the first year Tomlin has a losing record ever?
I think he will be. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong about it, but
schedule looks tough.
Can we agree it's not his fault?
No,
I think he's doing the best he can. Like that Bucks game he did the best he could under circumstances.
And the Bengals game, they weren't supposed to win either of those games. They could definitely be over right now.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to win the Bengals game. Last week, even staying in that game and somehow not getting torched by Tyreek and Waddle was an amazing feat.
It was.
So, I think Tomlin's doing an okay job. Like, I don't have anything with him. It's just they need a year. You got a young quarterback.
Yep.
When you say, okay, I guess the transition, what you said about trades, I do very realistically think that Claypool might actually be gone after this. Mm-hmm. And I'm not against it. Actually.
That may be a part of the list I compiled.
Yeah, he's definitely a moving piece. How about your boy? You guys don't have receivers, Mike. And your boy Kadarius Toney gets thrown to Patty Mahomes. It's like, because you guys need a speedster and to be even better. He's going to figure out a way to use him.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is like the way Dayball put the offense together, Toney was odd man out.
Yep.
I told listen, going into fantasy, I'm going to state this now because I said it on the air then too.
You did.
I told you all, do not pick Kadarius Toney. They aren't
Yep.
going to use him.
You did.
You know what his numbers are this year?
Pretty low.
2 games.
Yep.
3 targets, 2 receptions, 0 yards.
Wow.
He had a 2-yard. He had a catch for 2 yards, and then he had a catch for a 2-yard loss.
You know what his stat line is going to be 2 games after being with the Chiefs? 4 catches, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns.
No, I know.
Going to be for like 74 and like 82.
Yeah. No, I think he went to the place that was going to use him best. I mean, Darius Slayton has fallen back in favor with the team.
Yep.
They just drafted Wan'Dale Robinson. Toney was specifically picked, which it frustrates me. We used their first-round pick on it, but because he fit Joe Judge's like Swiss Army knife system, where everybody was interchangeable.
Yeah.
And that's not the way Daboll's like, no, everybody's got to roll. And he looked at all the receivers and was like, okay, Galladay's supposed to be a deep threat. He's not, but he's supposed to be, and we're paying him like one, so I'm going to use him there. Robinson's a quick guy. Slayton's a deep threat. I don't have room for Toney now because we also just drafted a new starting tight end who's been getting most of the red zone passes. So, yeah, Toney just didn't fit into the offense anymore. And Saquon being healthy. Hold on. Where's the knock on wood?
Thank you for doing that.
Knock on wood.
I really have enjoyed having Saquon relevant and healthy this year. He was missed. Yeah. Saquon's one of those players that can make you at any point be, now I know I watched this game. At any point he can take off and can do something spectacular. And it's great having those players. He's
a playmaker.
Yep.
And as an old saying, big time players make big time plays.
Yep.
And that's what he's a big play threat. And so he's opened up, even his presence on the field this year has opened up the Giants offense.
Yeah.
Because it just is letting Jones, having that level of a running back, is letting Jones be able to do those bootleg rollouts on a play action where he's either going to keep running, like Jay, we were talking before the show.
Yep.
Just keep running, or find the tight end, set his feet, find a deep threat. Fine, guys. Daniel Jones is not a bad quarterback. I know I talk about him a lot, and it's more to annoy everybody, but honestly, he's really not actually a bad quarterback. Is he a 6th overall pick? Not really.
But they're talking about him getting paid this year if you guys don't invest in his future.
Yep.
I could definitely see a team taking a little gamble on him. Maybe if things aren't working out there in Pittsburgh, they throw a little 2-year contract at him and say, hey, come over here and help us manage games.
I mean, somebody's going to pay him.
A thin Roethlisberger?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to pay him.
A more handsome version of Ben Roethlisberger.
Half the teams in the league are always looking for a quarterback. Somebody's going to pay him.
So, yeah. How much, though? How much you think? I mean, he can't get more than like.
It's see, the thing is, he's a quarterback.
2 years, 32 or something like that, maybe. Or 2 years, 28.
No, I think somebody like Detroit or.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or trying to think of another team that needs. Oh,
Commanders.
The Panthers, the Colts,
the Commanders,
Are we just gonna keep giving them former NFC East
quarterbacks? Like every single one has to go there. When is Dak going to make his appearance?
See, no, 4 years. They're already invested in Dak. Invested in Dak. It's going to be Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
Cooper Rush.
I can see that happening.
No, I know exactly who it's going to be. He's available right now. Ben DiNucci. He's the guy that came in for Dak last year.
By the way, Brady just passed Ben Roethlisberger for most sacked quarterback in NFL history. 555 times he's been sacked.
Good. Can thank
Brady all the records.
All the records.
2 Super Bowls.
Them all. Give me everything.
Yes.
So
part of that being 2 Super Bowls against a vaunted New York Giants defense.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Just when you thought that the Eagles couldn't get any better, make a big move today. And here's what has me pissed off.
That's not fair.
But here's what has me pissed off, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Bucs need, an edge rusher. Like that's what we're missing right now. And had we won those 2 games and probably been more relevant, I think they would have made the move to say, like, look, we're an attractive market for you right now. The team seems to be making another playoff run. Or they would have probably been more aggressive to go out there and make a move. Right now, I think they're just figuring out too many things in-house to do that. But it's not fair. And I felt bad for Roquan Smith because he was kind of at the press conference. He got thrown up and he was like, "Give me a second, bro. Like, what? Who got traded? To who? Like, that just
a 4th round pick.
4th round pick.
That's all it took.
Big time playmaker. Like Philly needed somebody to help them get the ball back and get more turnovers. Does that put them over the edge? Are they now by far the favorites in the NFC?
Probably.
I mean, they're their favorite right now because they're built for playoffs. They can run the ball, they play defense, and they can run the ball and control the clock if they have to. And if
they just got better on both. They can the rush. It doesn't matter where it's now. Pick and choose your poison.
I really wish
the
Giants could have gotten a game against them before they got him, so that maybe we could have gotten a win.
Steal one, right? Doesn't seem
steal
so
one
now,
before you solidify that defense.
Doesn't seem like they're gonna steal one now. That's gonna be rough.
No. Well, speaking of Quinn, guys, before the show today, I compiled a whole list of
Let's hear it.
Guys that are rumored to be traded or that I think might be traded. Yeah. And I want to see, A, if you think they're going to be traded, and B, where you think they'll go offhand.
Okay.
All right. First, Kareem Hunt, running back, Cleveland Browns. Yes?
Los Angeles Rams.
Yep, same boat.
Yep.
Really?
Yep, Rams.
Interesting.
He's the only relevant running back left, and they missed on the CMC sweepstakes because San Fran had that sneaky bonus extra picks they had compiled for years to just throw out there and say, "Hey, go Carolina, rebuild."
All right, I agree he's going to be traded. I don't know where. Maybe
it has to be out the AFC. Yeah, they're not going to keep him in the AFC.
That's true. They won't keep him there. Probably the Rams then.
And the Rams are most desperate for running back.
Yep.
Bradley Chubb.
Chubb?
Yeah. Bradley Chubb.
No.
Okay. Why?
I think that's the side of the ball they want to keep growing on. So
okay.
Jerry Jeudy. Denver's confused, so I think they're just going to let this all rock out.
Yeah.
Okay. Jerry Jeudy.
Yes.
I think off season. I don't think he's going to trade on season.
Yes.
Okay.
Trade him right now.
All right, Jay, where's he going?
They should trade him right now, but I think he'll be off season.
He would probably fit right now. Man, he hasn't even produced, but if he's going to fit somewhere, he would probably fit. That's rough. The Jets?
Maybe. There is a team he fits really well with that I didn't know about until John told me, and it makes me scared.
Which team?
Philly.
Damn, Philly. You think they'll make up? You think so?
A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith, and the quarterback that threw to all three of them.
So true.
So I don't like that, but
Yeah.
But I could see that happening. I do think they're going to move him.
Yeah.
KJ Hamler, another Broncos wide receiver.
No.
You think he's the guy they'll hold on to?
Hold on to something. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? You got to keep something.
Yeah, keep someone. I mean, Russ can't throw the ball to himself, but he would if he could.
He would if he could. All right. Brian Burns.
No.
From the Panthers.
The Panthers, apparently Moore is supposed to be on the market, but they're saying they're not letting him go. I just don't see this team giving away every key piece. So no.
They supposedly said they weren't giving away Burns, so I think it would take the Kings.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think he's going to get traded simply because it did come out that they've already rejected a 2 first-round pick offer for him.
What?
Yeah, they said on Sunday. That's why I said I don't think he's going to cost the Kings ransom.
Yeah, nobody's gonna pay more than that.
Yeah,
if they didn't take 2 first-round picks, nobody's giving anything better than that.
No, nobody's not doing anything better than that.
No.
Speaking of the Jets, Elijah Moore.
Yes, he's out of there. They don't care. Send him to NFL Europe.
Well, at least I don't know. So I saw this not too long before the show. They were saying they're going to try to work him in the slot and see if they can figure it out there.
Mm-hmm. We got Barris.
Has it really been that bad?
They got Barris in the slot. No chance. The problem they're having with him is and the coach is a patient guy. He's a leader. I like the way he treats his players. He's a players coach. The problem they're having with him is that you have a young guy who hasn't proven anything yet that's coming out demanding things. So he's alienating himself from the clubhouse already. I don't see how he can make up for that, even with production that he's not going to get because Zach Wilson is not a great quarterback. He's not going to make anybody look great or have anybody revive themselves midseason there. So unfortunately, I kind of see this as a situation where they just want him out the locker room, and he probably ends up with, maybe like a Cleveland.
I could see that if it was. I mean, they do need
Yeah.
that.
I don't know. Would the Bills take a shot at him?
I don't know if the Bills want
Just
to
for another
interfere
weapon?
with the chemistry. The
I
Bills
don't
are
think so.
honestly all right
If the
now.
Bills are going to swing, it's going to be for something big. I was that's it.
What about the Bears?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Bears are thinking about rebuilding at that position because I think the question mark is Justin Fields our guy, and they do have to get weapons in there, but he's not a weapon. Like he's not drawing anybody's interest. It's like, oh my God, you got Elijah Moore? Yeah, I'll come play QB for you.
Yeah.
So. All right, Cam Akers.
Who wants Cam Akers though?
I think he's going to be at the house the rest of the season.
Yeah.
He's gonna be watching the games like us.
Yeah. He gets cut before he gets traded, probably.
Yeah.
What about the Colts?
No, I think they're happy with
issues
Himes.
they've had.
No, I think they're happy with Himes. I don't think they need
And that Jackson dude looked good for the week if they had.
Yeah, he looked real good. Yeah.
All right, Brandon Cooks.
But I don't know where.
But who else is? Who else are they going to throw the ball to?
I think yes. I don't know where he's going, but I think they are going to trade him.
He'd probably end up somewhere like Tennessee because Robert.
Would they trade him in division though?
Huh?
Would they trade him in division though when they can still win that division?
You're right though. I didn't even think about that. They'll never do that.
Yeah.
They'll never do that. No, they'll never do that.
Rams?
Yeah.
Back to the Rams?
Yeah.
I mean
that's weird, but it could work.
Familiar with the organization, won't have a whole lot of weight on his shoulders.
Yeah. I see that.
Then we reach the aforementioned Chase Claypool.
Oh, yeah, he's untraded.
Pride of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Chase, go bye-bye.
Why did he lose so much favor all of a sudden?
Because Deontay Johnson's the real deal.
And then you also
guy?
have Pickens.
Yeah.
Third guy?
Pickens is spectacular.
Yeah,
he's the second guy. He shouldn't be the third guy in offense. He should be the second guy in an offense.
Yeah, Pickens is basically doing everything he can do.
You know who should make a move for Claypool? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Honestly, you know who could? I didn't even think of this originally. When you said the Bears, actually, that would be an interesting one.
That would be.
Yeah, that would be.
But
Giants.
Where I do think, actually.
Let me root for him again.
Well, I was going to say, and it's going to probably put on next week, is the Packers may get fed up and just.
Now we haven't mentioned the Packers as receivers.
They may get fed up and just throw something.
That's the perfect fit for him.
For anybody.
That's where I would ask. That was going to be my original pick.
And he's already used to playing in a cool city, so it's not like he's gonna have to acclimatize, And he played at Notre Dame, so he's fine.
So you're actually moving closer to Notre Dame than you actually are right now.
Yeah.
And he's from Canada, so he's already.
Is he?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Canadian dude. Yeah, he's Canadian.
Good for him. Okay, so that would fit well.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Actually, that's the perfect fit for him.
Old man Rogers is looking around like, help me.
Yeah, that would be
Can somebody catch a ball? Claypool.
Randall.
Claypool.
Nope. How about I'm going to throw it to the decomposing corpse of Randall.
Maybe Brandon Cooks ends up there. It's one or two of them. Those are the best names probably available out there that can go to Green Bay who are reliable.
Jerry Jeudy.
Judy's not even reliable. He's had problems dropping balls. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be happy with a receiver that's not guaranteed to hold on to what's thrown his way.
True. Who was next on my list? Next on my list is an interesting one. Marcus Davenport.
Shaq Bears being carded.
Damn it. Marcus Davenport.
You said Davenport?
Marcus Davenport. With the up and down play of the Saints.
I don't think he will.
Who, the Saints are in trouble when they decide that their best quarterback is Andy Dalton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big time. But, just to change the topic real quick, I know you have some more. I really think the NFL has to start looking at these Thursday night games because we're losing big name players every week right now. We're seeing players on attack. Every
I
week.
don't like Thursday night football. This is honestly the second time I returned Thursday night football.
You know what?
And one was because the Steelers played. Well, I guess the opening night.
I knew he was going to have a touchdown.
You know what? I know that we can. I think we can have a really good discussion on that topic. So I'm actually going to mark it down. Next week we'll talk. Should NFL get rid of Thursday night football?
Yeah, that'd be a great.
Yeah, because I think that is an interesting idea, and something that actually, like, the more I think about, the more it would probably make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because you're right. Like, especially in Thursday night games, a lot of guys are getting hurt.
It's just too quick of a turnaround. If you played a Sunday afternoon game, you don't even have 3 full days off. It's stupid.
And most of these games aren't good games.
Nope.
Right.
Well,
I mean, when you put the Broncos on prime time 7 times
every week.
Yeah. Well, no, it's because the schedule is done at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And it was, Russ is on Denver now. We got to push. We got to get Russ on TV.
Yeah. Well, they were trying to push the Broncos brand as well because they're supposed to be relevant this year.
Turns out they suck.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
They're the
Every
hardest
week.
team to watch in
Oh my God.
in the NFL. They're the hardest team to watch. And that's saying a lot that the Bears are tough, but the Bears are being competitive at least.
It's like that Super Bowl against the Seahawks every week.
Yeah. What a dreadful Super Bowl.
Oh my God. All right. This one, actually, you know what? Normally, because he's a Giant, this one would pain me, but it doesn't because I want him the hell off my team. Kenny Golladay. Please tell me he's being traded.
Why?
Who the hell wants that?
Who the hell wants Kenny
I don't
Golladay?
know. Just somebody. Somebody take him. We don't need him. We're winning without him.
Nobody needs him. That dude is there.
Yeah.
Green Bay.
No. Kenny
Rodgers
can't
was
stay on the
right.
field. He's just
Please?
he's not. He's not.
Pittsburgh, you want him?
No.
What are we gonna do with him?
Bro, they're gonna take a bag of taquitos for him at this point.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have a washing machine?
The blue Takis, please. The blue kind.
Yeah, come on. We got to get some value out of this.
Of course.
But yeah, please, if you're out there, Joe Shane, trade him. Release him. I don't care. Just get him off the team.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more. Miles Sanders.
No.
He's actually not being bad for Philly. Is it just you're saying that there's too many running back by committee?
Well, that's the running back. Right. So there's the idea that they have like 3 starting running backs. And apparently this is according to John, resident Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that's being rumored to trade is Miles Sanders, who's the starter right now.
Which is why I kind of think it's with the amount of injuries, it's a very risky trade. Because
Right?
It's one of those trades you do 2 weeks later. 2 running backs are hurt. Now you look crazy.
Right.
I just think
And now,
it's risky.
all of a sudden, and I don't say this because I'm a Giants fan, all of a sudden the Giants have an easier schedule than you. Rattle off some wins, they get a 2-game lead in the division because you lost some close games because you didn't have a running back.
Yeah, it's just risky. That's why.
And then, I
would.
wouldn't do it either. I was surprised when John told me that that was the rumor, but man, I wouldn't.
Yeah, the risk is.
Yeah. While Jay stays circling, there he goes. Our final one. This is one I added. He's not rumored to be traded, but I think it could be interesting if he does get traded. Jimmy Garoppolo.
I don't think it is playing Will. The San Francisco's making moves to better themselves. You just went and got McCaffrey, so there he is. So the only way you trade him is unless you think you can trade him back with another quarterback to get better.
I had to switch it up. Pop goes the weasel on the laptop battery.
Continuing technical difficulties. So Jay, we had said Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, according to John, he's the running back of the 3 that are being rumored to go. And the last name was an interesting one that I added to the list because he's not rumored to get traded, but he was at the beginning of the season, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right now, no, right? Like you can't see them giving away their only quarterback on the roster that can help them get to the playoffs. So I think he just ends up being off-season stuff. And talking about Detroit, I think that's where he probably ends up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does kind of fit their mold for a quarterback.
Yep.
He's like Wish.com's Matt Stafford.
There you go. Hey, did you hear his boy said I'm wish.com Aaron Rodgers tonight at the beginning of the show?
Yeah. My buddy from back home who actually lives in Florida now. He Trey, he said this at the beginning of the show. Which Jay then pointed out that Jay being older than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Rodgers stole the look from him.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, except for Jay, you don't look like a hobo.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
Yeah,
because Aaron Rodgers looks like a hobo.
Wear it better. AR.
Yeah.
Just double check on this, BR.
Well, boys, we're at an hour 16, and I think it's time we wrap up today's show. Being that we don't have the full team, I think we will skip this week's Stump the Squad if that's cool with you guys.
Mr. Cinco, nice having you on, though, bro.
Yes,
always good.
Trey,
I had to hop in real quick. Yeah, I had to hop in real quick.
He heard the Lakers and was like, "Nope,
can't do it.
This must be addressed."
It was
like
I've had it. My shooting hand had like a tingly feeling.
Yeah. Lakers. No, we appreciate you joining us, Trey. Jay, I appreciate you joining me this evening. Appreciate everybody that watched, anybody that listens after this. Any parting words for the fans?
Let's go Liverpool through to the UEFA knockout rounds. Let's go.
Woo. No.
Let's go Lakers from Trey. Win one for us. Nothing.
I mean, we can't take. We don't got to pick. So
Trey's more like back the season. First pick in the draft.
We can't. The New Orleans has our pick.
Oh man, imagine.
Oh yeah,
we can't.
They still have your pick from that trade.
They have more. They have a couple more.
They have a lot more than that.
What? Oh my god, man! Yes. Just in talk about digging a 60-foot deep hole.
Yeah, there's
you got New Orleans fans or Lakers fans this year. It's like, go ahead and get us
there's nothing.
Yeah, right. No, you guys just keep losing. We're good.
Mikey, 7-1.
Who are we playing? Jack? No.
Seattle.
Seattle. You know what?
Probably one of the better.
I'm going to go out on a limb because I haven't been confident all year, and they've been proving me wrong. Yes.
I think you guys are favored by 3 as well, which is kind of nuts on the road in Seattle.
I want to say that's the first road game we've been favored in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be a close game, like 24-21, something like that.
Yeah. I can see that.
Here's hoping.
Hey, Trey, just before we go ahead, Phillies or Astros?
Oh, yeah.
The Phillies.
Thank you.
2 for the Phillies, one for H-Town. I just want to see Matches Mac win $75 million. That's all.
Yeah, it's not about the Astros. It's about the bet.
It's all about Matches Mac.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching and listening, wherever you may be, whenever you may be. We are Cinco Squad. We appreciate all of you out there. And let's see what happens for another week of sports. And we'll be back next Thursday for more insane talk about how stressed I am about the Giants and Rangers. All right. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.